The Duke of Marlborough's Secrets. How Concealing Intentions Exemplifies Law Number 3. Conceal Your Intentions by Robert Greene. What if your greatest strength wasn't your actions, but your ability to keep others guessing? Imagine having a plan so carefully concealed that even your closest allies couldn't predict your next move. History has shown us that the power of secrecy can shape empires, win wars, and leave rivals scrambling in the dark. Welcome to Historic Power Plays, where we uncover the timeless strategies of power, ambition, and intrigue through the lens of history. Today, we delve into Law 3 from Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. Conceal your intentions. This law warns us of the dangers of transparency in a world where everyone is vying for advantage. Revealing your plans too early or too openly can expose your weaknesses, empower your rivals, and ultimately derail your goals. Concealing your true intentions, on the other hand, creates confusion, buys you time, and allows you to strike with precision. Robert Greene illustrates this law through some of the most fascinating stories in history. In this video, we'll explore how the Duke of Marlborough used secrecy to achieve decisive military victories during the War of the Spanish Succession. We'll also uncover Otto von Bismarck's masterful diplomacy, which relied on concealing his endgame to unify Germany under Prussian rule. Finally, we'll examine Catherine de' Medici's cunning maneuvers leading to the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre, arguably one of the most dramatic examples of hidden intentions in history. But why does this matter today? Whether you're navigating a competitive workplace, managing relationships, or leading a team, the art of concealing your intentions is a skill that remains just as relevant in modern times. Mastering this law can help you outmaneuver competitors, protect your plans, and maintain the upper hand in any situation. If you're ready to master the art of secrecy and strategy, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Like this video if you're excited to uncover the hidden rules of power, and leave a comment below with your thoughts on the importance of secrecy in today's world. Now, let's journey back to the 18th century, where the Duke of Marlborough's ability to mislead and outwit his enemies changed the course of history. Let's begin. Historical Story 1. Duke of Marlborough's Military Strategy. The War of the Spanish Succession was a conflict defined by strategy, deception, and power plays, and at its center stood one of history's greatest military leaders, John Churchill, the Duke of Marlborough. Marlborough's brilliance didn't just lie in his tactical genius, but in his unparalleled ability to conceal his intentions, keeping his enemies, and sometimes even his allies, completely in the dark. Marlborough's most famous campaign occurred in 1704, during the early stages of the war. Europe was fractured, with alliances forming and breaking as nations vied for dominance. Marlborough, leading the Grand Alliance against France and Bavaria, faced a daunting task. His objective was to strike a decisive blow against his enemies, but with French forces closely monitoring his movements, achieving surprise seemed impossible. But Marlborough understood the power of secrecy. Instead of announcing his plans or even sharing them with all his allies, he used deception to mislead everyone about his true intentions. He launched a series of smaller, seemingly unrelated maneuvers, creating the illusion that his army was focused on protecting Dutch territories in the Low Countries. This misdirection lulled the French into a false sense of security, believing Marlborough posed no immediate threat. While the French relaxed their defenses, Marlborough executed one of the most daring marches in military history. In just over 5 weeks, he led his army more than 400 miles across Europe, avoiding detection and surprising his enemies by appearing in southern Germany, where they least expected him. His forces joined with Austrian troops, and together they faced the French and Bavarians at the Battle of Blenheim. The result was a stunning victory for the Grand Alliance. Marlborough's ability to conceal his intentions had not only caught the French off guard, but had also disrupted their entire strategy for the war. Blenheim shifted the balance of power in Europe and secured Marlborough's reputation as a master of strategy. Marlborough's success lay in his ability to keep everyone guessing. By revealing nothing about his true plans, he maintained the element of surprise and ensured that his enemies couldn't adapt. Even his allies, who often doubted his judgment due to his secretive nature, were forced to follow his lead because of his consistent success. Marlborough's secrecy didn't just win battles, it won loyalty, respect, and influence. How does this apply to us today? In a world where transparency is often seen as a virtue, the art of concealing your intentions remains a powerful tool. Whether you're negotiating a deal, managing a project, or navigating social dynamics, keeping your plans close to the chest can give you the upper hand. By controlling the narrative and withholding just enough information, you can guide others to underestimate or misjudge your moves, much like Marlborough did. Do you think secrecy is more powerful than action? Could Marlborough have achieved his victories without his mastery of deception? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Historical Story 2: Otto von Bismarck and Unification of Germany. In the mid-19th century, Europe was a powder keg of rivalries, alliances, and shifting borders. At the heart of it all was Otto von Bismarck, a statesman whose cunning diplomacy and mastery of secrecy would forever alter the continent. His ultimate goal was the unification of Germany under Prussian dominance. But to achieve this, Bismarck had to navigate a minefield of powerful enemies, skeptical allies, and precarious political tensions. His success would hinge on his ability to conceal his true intentions while orchestrating events to his advantage. Bismarck's strategy relied on creating alliances and rivalries, all while hiding his ultimate goal. He carefully cultivated relationships with Austria, France, and other European powers, ensuring that none of them suspected his true ambition of unifying Germany. At the same time, he worked behind the scenes to provoke conflicts that would serve his cause, all without appearing to be the instigator. One of Bismarck's most famous maneuvers was his role in the Schleswig-Holstein conflict. In 1864, Bismarck allied with Austria to wage war against Denmark over these contested territories. While it seemed like a cooperative effort, Bismarck's real aim was to create tension with Austria, setting the stage for a future conflict. After defeating Denmark, Bismarck turned on Austria in the Austro-Prussian War of 1866, using the tensions he had carefully nurtured to justify the conflict. The war resulted in a decisive Prussian victory, eliminating Austria as a rival and paving the way for German unification. Bismarck's brilliance lay in his ability to manipulate perception. By keeping his true intentions hidden, he maintained the trust of his allies while isolating his enemies. His actions were calculated, ensuring that every step served his long-term goal without revealing his hand. This strategy reached its peak during the Franco-Prussian War of 1870-71. Bismarck skillfully edited the EMS dispatch, a diplomatic communication, to provoke France into declaring war on Prussia. The resulting conflict united the German states against a common enemy, culminating in the proclamation of the German Empire in 1871, with King Wilhelm I of Prussia as emperor. Bismarck's success offers a masterclass in the power of secrecy. By concealing his intentions, he was able to manipulate events and people to achieve his goals. His ability to control the narrative allowed him to outmaneuver rivals and avoid unnecessary resistance. Contrast this with leaders who openly declare their ambitions and face immediate opposition. Transparency, while often praised, can expose weaknesses and invite sabotage. How does this apply to modern leadership and negotiation? In diplomacy, business, and even personal relationships, Revealing too much too soon can weaken your position. Like Bismarck, learning to balance transparency with discretion is key. Keeping your endgame hidden while steering events in your favor allows you to maintain control and avoid premature challenges. Would you use Bismarck's tactics in your own life? Could you master the art of concealing your intentions to achieve your goals? Let us know in the comments below. Historical Story 3. Catherine de' Medici and the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre in the late 16th century. France was a kingdom on the brink of chaos. Religious tensions between Catholics and Protestants, known as Huguenots, threatened to tear the nation apart. Amid this turmoil, Catherine de' Medici, the Queen Mother, stood as a figure of cunning and calculation. Her role in the infamous St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre is one of the most chilling examples of law. 3. Conceal your intentions. Catherine's ability to hide her true plans from both allies and enemies allowed her to strike with devastating precision. Catherine's position was precarious. As the widow of King Henry II and the mother of 3 successive kings, she wielded considerable influence, but her power was far from secure. France was divided, and the Catholic nobility viewed the Protestant Huguenots as a growing threat to their dominance. Catherine saw an opportunity to consolidate power, but she knew that an open declaration of her intentions would lead to resistance and possibly civil war. Instead, she employed deception and secrecy to achieve her aims. The turning point came in 1572 during the wedding of Catherine's daughter, Margaret of Valois, to Henry of Navarre, a prominent Huguenot leader. The marriage was meant to symbolize unity between Catholics and Protestants, and for a brief moment, it seemed that peace might be within reach. However, Catherine had other plans. Behind the scenes, she was orchestrating one of the most brutal acts of political violence in history. Catherine's strategy was to lure the Huguenot leadership to Paris for the wedding. Under the guise of celebration and reconciliation, she created an environment where her enemies felt safe. Even as tensions simmered beneath the surface, she concealed her true intentions, giving no indication of the bloodshed to come. In the early hours of August 24, 1572, on St. Bartholomew's Day, Catherine's plan unfolded. At her command, Catholic forces launched a coordinated attack on the Huguenot leaders gathered in Paris. The massacre quickly spread throughout the city and into the provinces, claiming the lives of thousands of Protestants. By the time the violence subsided, Catherine had effectively eliminated her political rivals and consolidated power for the Catholic faction. Catherine's ability to hide her intentions until the moment of action was both her greatest strength and her most controversial legacy. By striking with such precision, she avoided the drawn-out conflict that an open declaration of war might have caused. However, the moral and ethical implications of her actions are undeniable. The St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre remains a dark chapter in history, a reminder of how the pursuit of power can lead to unimaginable violence. What can we learn from Catherine's actions? While her methods were extreme, her ability to conceal her intentions illustrates the effectiveness of secrecy in achieving strategic goals. In less brutal contexts, the principle remains relevant. Whether in negotiations, leadership, or personal relationships, keeping your plans hidden can help you avoid opposition and maintain control. However, it also raises important questions about the ethical boundaries of secrecy and manipulation. Could you ever justify actions like Catherine de' Medici's? Do the ends always justify the means? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective on this chilling example of power in action. Historical Story 4. Mr. Sam Giesel and the Price of Transparency. While history often highlights kings and generals who mastered the art of concealment, the principle of law, 3 extends far beyond the halls of power. Consider the story of Mr. Sam Giesel, an unsuspecting entrepreneur in 1920s Chicago, whose failure to conceal his intentions led to a costly mistake. Sam Giesel was a man with a dream, a small but thriving shop that he hoped to expand. In his eagerness to secure a prime piece of real estate for his growing business, he approached a local property owner. Giesel, being an honest and straightforward man, laid out his plans in great detail. He explained how the location would elevate his shop's profile and profitability, leaving little to the imagination. But instead of being met with enthusiasm, Giesel's transparency was his undoing. The property owner, now fully aware of how valuable the location was to Giesel, decided to increase the price significantly. Giesel, desperate to secure the deal, had no choice but to pay far more than the property was worth. His openness had handed the advantage to the other party, leaving him with less bargaining power and a bitter lesson in discretion. This story underscores a critical aspect of law. 3. Revealing too much about your goals can empower others to exploit you. Giesel's mistake wasn't just a lack of strategy, it was a failure to understand the power of keeping his true intentions hidden. In contrast, those who master the art of concealment can maintain control in negotiations and protect their interests. So, have you ever found yourself revealing too much in a negotiation or conversation? Share your experience in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you navigate the balance between transparency and discretion. Historical Story 5. The Warlords of Ethiopia and the Art of Deception from the bustling streets of Chicago. We now turn to the rugged landscapes of Ethiopia, where warlords in the 19th century demonstrated law. 3. With ruthless precision. Their ability to conceal their true intentions was the key to their survival and dominance in a land defined by shifting alliances and constant conflict. Ethiopia at the time was a patchwork of rival territories, each controlled by powerful warlords vying for supremacy. In this volatile environment, trust was scarce and deceit was a way of life. Warlords would routinely form alliances, only to betray their partners when the opportunity for greater power arose. But their betrayals were not rash or impulsive. They were calculated and cloaked in secrecy. One warlord in particular mastered this strategy. He would propose peace talks with his enemies, inviting them to negotiate under the banner of truce. During these meetings, he spoke of unity and mutual prosperity, concealing his true intentions behind a facade of diplomacy. Meanwhile, he prepared his forces for a surprise attack, waiting until his enemies were lulled into a false sense of security. When the moment was right, he struck decisively, consolidating his power while his rivals were caught off guard. The warlord's ability to conceal their intentions not only ensured their survival, but also allowed them to expand their influence in a brutal and unpredictable landscape. Their success highlights the universal nature of law. 3. In any environment where stakes are high, the ability to misdirect and obscure your true goals can mean the difference between victory and defeat. What do you think of the Ethiopian warlords' tactics? Could you justify similar strategies in a competitive environment, or do you believe honesty should always prevail? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Analysis and lessons, secrecy, transparency, and manipulation are at the heart of law. 3. Conceal your intentions. The historical stories we've explored, Marlborough's military genius, Bismarck's diplomatic maneuvers, and Catherine de' Medici's ruthless strategy, offer invaluable insights into how the art of concealing intentions can shape outcomes. But beyond the drama of history lies a deeper understanding of human psychology and power dynamics. At its core, the power of secrecy lies in control. By withholding your true intentions, you dictate the narrative, keeping others guessing while protecting yourself from interference. People are naturally drawn to clarity, They want to understand your motives, align with your goals, or counteract your plans. By concealing your intentions, you create uncertainty, which can disarm opposition, foster dependency, or drive others to act in ways that benefit you. Transparency, while often idealized, has its pitfalls. When you reveal too much, you expose your vulnerabilities and give others the opportunity to exploit your plans. History shows us that leaders who openly declare their ambitions often face immediate resistance, while those who operate in the shadows can execute their strategies with minimal opposition. Lessons for modern life. So how do we apply these lessons to the world we live in today? In the workplace, transparency is often encouraged, but strategic discretion can give you the edge. For example, if you're working on a major project or negotiating a deal, revealing your full plan too early can give competitors or even colleagues the opportunity to undermine you. Instead, share information selectively, revealing just enough to build trust without exposing your ultimate goals. In relationships, the dynamics of secrecy and transparency can be even more delicate. While honesty is crucial, maintaining a level of mystery can keep interactions dynamic and intriguing. Overexposing your thoughts or plans can sometimes lead to unnecessary friction or make you more predictable, reducing your influence. In politics and leadership, the lessons are stark. Leaders who master the art of concealing their intentions are often able to outmaneuver opponents, forge unexpected alliances, and achieve long-term goals. However, it's essential to balance secrecy with integrity. When deception becomes synonymous with dishonesty, trust erodes and power becomes unsustainable. Actionable strategies to master the art of concealing your intentions. Consider these actionable strategies. Control the narrative. Share information on your terms. Present just enough to satisfy curiosity or build trust, but hold back your full intentions until the moment is right. Use decoys, like Marlborough's misdirection in military campaigns. Use false leads or decoys to distract others from your true objectives. This keeps them focused on the wrong targets while you work behind the scenes. Assess your audience. Transparency is not one size fits all. Adjust your level of disclosure based on who you're dealing with. Friends, rivals, or allies may require different approaches. Timing is everything. Revealing your intentions at the right moment can be as powerful as concealing them. Timing allows you to control the impact of your actions, minimizing opposition and maximizing results. These strategies align with the principles of Law 3 while ensuring that your use of secrecy remains ethical and purposeful. Conclusion. As we've seen today, Law 3, Conceal Your Intentions, is a timeless strategy that has shaped some of history's most pivotal moments. From the battlefield to the diplomatic table to the royal court, the ability to keep others guessing has proven to be one of the most powerful tools in navigating the complexities of power dynamics. First, we explored the brilliance of the Duke of Marlborough, who used secrecy and misdirection to outwit his enemies during the War of the Spanish Succession. His ability to conceal his true plans led to stunning victories that shifted the balance of power in Europe. Next, we turn to Otto von Bismarck, whose diplomatic genius during the unification of Germany relied on concealing his endgame while manipulating alliances and rivalries among European powers. By hiding his intentions, Bismarck achieved his ambitious goal without unnecessary resistance. Finally, we examined the chilling story of Catherine de' Medici and the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre. Her ability to mask her plans until the moment of action allowed her to consolidate power in one of the most dramatic and controversial examples of hidden intentions in history. Together, these stories teach us that secrecy isn't just about deception, it's about control. By concealing your intentions, you gain the ability to dictate the narrative, outmaneuver your rivals, and strike when the time is right. But with this power comes responsibility. The line between secrecy and dishonesty is thin, and wielding this strategy without integrity can lead to mistrust and backlash. In today's world, the lessons of Law 3 are just as relevant. Whether you're leading a team, negotiating a deal, or managing relationships, the art of concealing your intentions can help you avoid unnecessary challenges and achieve your goals. However, always remember to balance secrecy with ethical considerations, ensuring that your strategies serve both your interests and the greater good. So, what's your takeaway from this journey? Which story resonated with you the most? Have you ever used secrecy to your advantage, or do you prefer transparency? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this journey through the art of secrecy, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Each week, we uncover the timeless lessons of power, ambition, and strategy through history's most fascinating stories. Turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Law 3. Conceal Your Intentions from Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll uncover even more powerful insights from history's greatest strategists. Until then, remember, power is a game, and those who master the rules rise above the rest.